Pete Hegseth held a meeting of generals, all the military's generals, called them back in from combat zones in the top brass. And there was it was in Quantico. There was a lot of speculation. What's this about? What are these guys going to be fighting? What are they going to be talking about here? Is this going to be like a cleansing where he brings them in and fires them all and replaces them with loyalists like Hitler did? Because they always, anytime this administration farts, they have to compare it to Hitler. Anytime someone in this administration passes gas, it's compared to Hitler. There were people that were speculating, there's been a lot of saber rattling with Russia. Are we going to war? Maybe Venezuela. The Pentagon pizza tracker's up. What could it be? I even saw someone say that this was about the alien mothership that's supposed to be here next month. We're tracking that, by the way. We're not going to let you idiots off the hook with that the same way we didn't let the Rapture idiots off the hook. When November comes and passes and there's no aliens, I will come on here and dedicate an entire segment to reminding you about it. So there was all this speculation about what it was going to be, and it turned out this was basically what he called him in. Not that one. No, go down. Do the third one, yeah.
With physical fitness and appearance. If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. So whether you're an airborne ranger or a chairborne ranger, a brand new private or a 4-star general, you need to meet the height and weight standards and pass your PT test. And as the chairman said, yes, there is no PT test. But today, at my direction, every member of the joint force at every rank is required to take a PT test twice a year, as well as meet height and weight requirements twice a year, every year of service. Also today, at my direction, every warrior across our joint force is required to do PT every duty day. Should be common sense. I mean, most units do that already.
So that's what he called them all in for. It wasn't to make them swear allegiance to him. It wasn't to fire all of them to their faces and replace them with his cronies. It wasn't to prepare for aliens or nuclear war. He called in every general and top officer in the United States military so he could call them fat. There's never a dull day with this administration, ladies and gentlemen. There's never a dull day with this administration. That's why he called him in. Was to point out the new fitness standards. And you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense. You see a fat football coach and it's like, how does anybody respect that guy? We shouldn't have fat generals. I'm sorry. We should not have fat generals. I'm not saying that the general, if you've got this 70-year-old man who's a general, I'm not saying that guy's got to be Mr. America. He doesn't have to be, in MMA shape, but he should be able to run a mile in less than 10 minutes. He should be able to do 50 push-ups without taking a break. These are things that average guys can do after they train for 6 months or less. I don't think that's a lot to ask for. I don't think people can, when you're asking these guys that are on the ground, that are going out in combat zones, or not in combat zones, just stationed around the world or in the country, when you're asking these guys to be in shape, how can they respect you when you're chewing on a jelly donut while you do it? I appreciate this. I think this is good. I agree with what Ronald Reagan said, which is peace through strength. I mean, which country do you think our enemies are going to be less likely to fuck with? The one with tubby generals? Or the ones that are led by dudes that kind of look like they could fuck you up in a fist fight, like the George Patton types? Now, not everybody agreed with that. Pull this tweet up here. Says, Pete Hegseth is a fat-phobic, misogynistic piece of shit. They called his rant fat-phobic. You can take that down. Fat-phobic. I hate to break it to you. The military should be fat-phobic. Yes. The military should not want people who are morbidly obese at any level of it. I completely agree with that. It is fat phobic. That's good. We're big proponents of fat shaming here on this show. I've had people tell me, I listen to your show.
Piece of shit.
And how much you make fun of fat people has inspired me to lose weight. That warms my soul because it proves my theory works. We just insult them and make them feel ashamed of the way they look, and they'll be healthier, and they'll be around longer to spend more time with their wives and their kids and their grandkids. And it's all because I was a dick to them for 2 hours a week on a podcast in front of a microphone. I'm saving lives out here, and so is Pete Hegseth. It's fat phobic. You gonna tell me the Olympics is fat phobic next? Good. Other people, this is fascism. It's not fascism to tell people who there's a good chance they could be in a combat situation that they can't be morbidly obese. Hey, you need to be able to walk up a flight of stairs without running out of breath if you want to fight in a war. That's not a tough ask. That's not a whole lot to ask for there, in my opinion. Here's what he had to say about the double standard for men and women when it comes to combat roles and physical tests. Go ahead.
This, and I want to be very clear about this is not about preventing women from serving. We very much value the impact of female troops. Our female officers and NCOs are the absolute best in the world. But when it comes to any job that requires physical power to perform in combat, those physical standards must be high and gender neutral. If women can make it, excellent. If not, it is what it is. If that means no women qualify for some combat jobs, so be it. That is not the intent, but it could be the result, so be it. It will also mean that weak men won't qualify because we're not playing games. This is combat. This is life or death. As we all know, this is you versus an enemy hell-bent on killing you. To be an effective, lethal fighting force, you must trust that the warrior alongside you in battle is capable, truly physically capable of doing what is necessary under fire. You know this is the only standard you would want for your kids and for your grandkids. Apply the War Department Golden Rule, the 1990 test, and the E6 test, and it's really hard to go wrong.
Now, you're a woman, Mia. Do you find that to be sexist and offensive, or do you find it to be reasonable that the physical standards for troops who are going to be in combat zones are the same regardless of gender?
No, I find it reasonable.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the reality is combat, war, real-life intense, dangerous situations don't give a rat's ass about the woke little bubble that people have been living in here. It's not like corporate America where you can change the standards because someone's a different race or gender, ethnicity or religion or whatever, or academia. This is real life. This is harsh shit. War is hell. Bullets don't care what's between your legs unless they're hitting it. Because if you're a man and a bullet hits you between the legs, that's big problem. Still a problem if you're a woman, but more if you're a man. It's not sexist. There are some jobs that we should not be able to discriminate upon. Because I always ask this thing, when we talk about like affirmative action and how great it is. Okay, let's think about this. You want to talk about how great affirmative action is. Let's say you had a heart attack. We don't even talk about the military. Let's say you had a heart attack and an EMT comes to save you. Would you rather, Mia, the EMT that comes to save you, be the man who graduated top of his class or the woman who graduated 24th in her class but got the job over a bunch of men because she was the highest woman that's coming to perform CPR and revive you? Who would you rather help you out? Or would you care? You just want the best person for the job.
Honestly, I just want the best person.
Exactly. So you'd want the man that was the most qualified. You wouldn't care what was... In situations like that where it counts.
I would actually want the most attractive firefighter EMT.
You sound like my grandma now. Yeah.
No, I would want the least attractive one.
Yeah.
I'd probably be peeing myself.
Yeah. That's that's the thing is in real situations where the real life or death situations, not corporate America where you sit around and type emails and pretend to be busy for 7 hours a day. In real life or death situations like this, it does not matter your race, your gender, your religion, anything. The only thing that matters is, are you physically and mentally capable of getting the job done, which is why the same standards should be applied to everybody, regardless of what category they fit under. Now, hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you could actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.